So I haven't done an economic update in a while. What I really think is happening, what they're telling us is a lie. Everything's a lie. So I was watching the Jack Morgan RLP channel, and he was on the, talking about dock workers and minimum wage. So let's talk about the dock workers. So there's going to be a potential strike. That's what they say, potential strike. What's really happening is, folks, it's all a show. What's really happening is a lot of people cannot afford anything anymore, right? So the stores are filling up with products. That means the shippers don't need to be shipping a lot of stuff. So what's going to happen is they'll tell you there's a strike happening, and it's going to bring shipping down to his knees. But what's really happening is no one's buying anything anymore, folks. And the reason is because no one has any money. Everybody's in debt. Thus, the shipping companies have to stop. But then they don't want you to know that it's because of the bankers and the government. It's always the bankers and government, folks. It's always that. But they don't want you to know that. So what they do is they get these strikes going. Yes, these strikes. You know these unions? I think I did a video on that. I don't know if I posted on YouTube. The unions are all controlled by the bankers. Many people don't believe me, but they're all controlled. Just like everything else, they're controlled. So what's happening is the shipping companies cannot ship anymore because no one's buying anything. So what they're doing is they're making believe that the strike is causing the collapse of the shipping industry, but it's not really the shipping. It's not the strike that's. It's not the strike that's causing it. It's the lack of demand. You get what I'm saying, right? It's a lack of demand that's causing the collapse of the shipping company. But no, they don't want you to know that, right? They don't want you to know that. They want you to believe that the strike is causing the shipping. The strike is causing the collapse of shipping companies, right? So it's all a game. It's all a show, folks. It's always been like that. I didn't notice that. I didn't figure that out until just maybe 10 years ago. But the unions are all controlled, folks. The unions, every single union is controlled. Unions are there to destroy companies, etc., etc. So if you look back to England, the British automakers, the British auto industry, back in the 70s and 60s, they destroyed it, folks. They did it on purpose. It wasn't the immigrants. It wasn't anything else. It was the bankers and the politicians and the unions all working together to destroy the auto industry. They're doing the same thing to America and Canada. That's the whole plan, folks. They're going to destroy America, Canada, England, Australia, all the big countries that were locked down back in the early 20s, right? So, and another thing about inflation, I already did a couple videos on inflation. That is, if you look back at my videos, inflation scam, economic crash, and fake inflation. Inflation's really greed, right? People are pushing up the prices higher because of greed. Then they were going to blame it on inflation, which is not really happening. So here's more proof of that. So here is where is it? This is from the Reuters. Here, okay. So here, shippers have made a record profit since the pandemic. In some cases, seen profits grow in excess of 800%. Okay, that tells you right there. If inflation was real, this number would be lower. Inflation is a lie, folks. Inflation is a lie. It's all greed. It's always been greed. So speaking of greed, also known as inflation. So this is some our advertisements I got off Facebook. This is around the Ontario, Canada area. So here, this is Richmond Hill. These homes. Look at these prices of these homes. Richmond Hill, detached singles, starting at $2 million, folks. $2 million. This is not inflation, folks. This is greed. Absolute greed. 100%. Here's another one. Caledon, which is, you can look this up. Caledon, Ontario. You can look, it's I think it's northwest of Toronto, maybe 50 an hour away, starting from 500,000. So these are not single homes. You can see they're let me zoom in. I think they're semi-detached. What's the name of this? It looks detached. I don't know. Some of these look attached. Let me go to the next article. This is Unionville. This is near Highway 7, and it's just near North York. $1.68 million. Mind you, this is not for Canadians, folks. This is for the foreigners and foreign investors. Greed has 100% taken over Canada, sadly. Canada used to be an easy country to live in. Easy, like, you know, wasn't much traffic, wasn't many people. Everything was cheap. Our dollar was strong back in the day. I'll do a whole different video on that. But now, greed has completely taken over Canada, sadly, and it's going to collapse Canada eventually. It's collapsing now. This is near McMaster University, Burlington, Ontario. These are townhomes, folks. These are not really good well built townhomes. $700,000. $700K. Okay, next one. This is near, where is this? Scarborough. Toronto Towns, $900,000. This is not a full house, folks. This is not a full house you're getting. You probably don't even get a garage. Maybe not even a front yard, etc., etc. This is near Bolton, Ontario. You can guys look it up yourself where Bolton is. Starting at a low $1 million. Wow, low $1 million. Insane, folks, insane. This is Unionville. Major Mackenzie Drive and Woodbine Avenue. That's about 40 minutes north of Toronto. Freeholds and detached, starting from 1.2 million. I think this is where a lot of Italians live, some Indian population, etc., etc. This is near where is this? Bellwood Estates. Coming soon to Fergus, Elora area. I don't know where this exactly is. This looks like a giant. Looks like a giant house, McMansions, starting from the mid 2 millions. Mid 2 millions, folks. You in America are probably looking at this like, what the hell is going on up here, right? Now you know what's going on up here. It's absolute catastrophe happening here, and that's it for that one. So I took some photos of my local Loblaws, which is a grocery store here in Canada, and a Walmart. Just a couple photos. I don't want to take too many because I don't want to get, raise suspicion. But this is a Loblaws near me, near central Toronto, east of Toronto, but it's near a central location with a huge population. This is around 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday. Do you see any people here, folks? It's just me here. Do you see any people? Normally at 8:30, between 8:30 to 9 o'clock a.m. There should be not tons of people. There should be a number of people. Let me zoom in and see if you see any people here. You see anybody here, folks? Do you see anybody? All right. I go to the grocery shopping every Saturday, and normally I would see a lot of people. Like back in the 90s, I would see tons of people. 2000s, less people. 2010s, less people. But now, look at this, folks. Look at this. I can literally sit my ass down here. No one's going to hit me or look at me. There's no even employees here either. Look at this. Okay. This is another part of the same Loblaws. Sorry, my cell phone was ringing. But yeah, same Loblaws. Look at this, folks. This is specifically, this is a chip aisle right here. The chips. You know, there's tons of people here. Nobody here, folks. Nobody. This is further down. You see some people now. Let's see here. I think you see one person. 1, 2. Yeah. Look at this, folks. This one's under some renovation, but still. So the next photo is from Walmart. This is near the main entranceway. The main entrance is right here, where my cursor is going. The cashiers are here, and yeah, the chocolates. Sorry for the photo, shaky photo, but look, there's nobody here. Just me. Saturday morning around 9 a.m. There should be many people here, folks, especially at Walmart. Many people. Nothing. Another part of the Walmart, just near the costume area. The motor oil area, the motor oils around here, costumes here, stuff like that. I'll zoom in. Find any people, folks? Nobody. This is not the middle of the night, folks. This is early morning, I think. So, I took a video here of Canadian Tire. Let me play it. So this is the final thing I'm going to show you. This is a Canadian Tire. If you guys in USA or Europe don't know what a Canadian Tire is, look it up. It's basically, you can find anything here, anything automotive or barbecue, anything, household stuff, right? So I'm going to play this. This is near a central location in Scarborough, Ontario, with a huge population around it. This is around noon. This is on a Friday, noon. So around noon, this place should be full of people. It's normally full of people. Look at this. They already have the Christmas decorations up. So I'm going to play this. Just to let you know, I forgot to turn on the Steadicam on my cell phone. So there's a lot of shakiness going on here, so apologize for that. But try to look for the people here, folks. This is 38 seconds. I'm going to play you. Sorry for the shaky footage, but look at this. I'm the only one here. I'm the only one here. There's some people around. You see some people, but look at this. And I've also noticed the Canadian Tire slash prices in order to get people to, come back into the stores, but it's not working. It's not working. Yeah, look at this. There's one person there. So yeah, just a quick video today. Yeah, don't believe anything on TV. The strikes are actually planned. They do this all the time, the strikes. You see the Boeing strikes, right? Boeing is going down. But they're going to blame it on the strikes. But really, it's the bankers, the governments, etc., etc. It's always the bankers and governments, folks. Back in 2008, remember that? They blamed the poor people, the Mexicans, etc., etc. But really, it's the bankers and the governments. It's always the bankers and governments. There's a good video I think I posted on my other channels on BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble about the cash for clunkers. This dude, I forget the name of the video. I'll post up a screenshot here of the video. He goes into depth of the cash for clunkers and is how it's 100% the government's fault. The government caused the problems. They try to come in with a solution and made the problem worse, right? Same thing here. What you're seeing here is all government caused, folks. And bankers. They caused it. They're going to try to come in with a solution. And they're going to make things worse, folks. Just get ready for a major slowdown or crash, because that's what the government wants, right? They want full control of everything. So, yeah. Oops, I forgot to add one more thing. This is Paul Joseph Watson, 100% shill for the New World Order. Okay. In his latest couple videos, he started blaming, Indians, etc., etc. Just want to point out that when these shills and governments start ramping up and started blaming other races and other, factors, that's when you know the collapse is coming, folks. That's when you know the collapse is coming. When they start ramping up the name calling, the blaming, that's when the collapse is coming. So here in this video, Birmingham is a shithole. He goes about, looking at these other YouTubers like Bald and Bankrupt, which is another 100% government shill. They go to Birmingham and look at the state of the city, right? They blame everything on the immigrants. They blame everything on the pollution. Let's see here. Look at the pollution. Okay, I just want to point out that this is the government's responsibility to clean up the mess. Okay, where I live, actually, I have to say, the Canadian government actually cleans up the mess. They actually do a good job. A lot of the places around me and everywhere else I've been to, it's a cleaned up. They do a good job cleaning, but this is 100% responsibility of the government, folks, cleaning up the mess like this, right? They should be cleaning this mess up. I actually seen some people dump stuff around near Toronto, and I've seen this actually been cleaned up. They actually do clean up, except for the really rough areas like really, really rough areas. I've seen some, like, a tiny bit of garbage lying around, but not as bad as this, because the governments do clean up here. So we have a good system here of garbage waste disposal. But here, right, they don't blame anything on the bankers. They don't blame anything on the government. That's how you know these people are shills, folks. When they blame nothing on the bankers or the governments, it's 100% shill. Yeah. This one, look at this. Yeah, everybody's going here. All these YouTubers. That's just all blame everything on the immigrants, right? Don't blame anything on the governments or the bankers. Don't blame anything on the governments, right? So there's a divide and conquer, basically. It's just back in the 90s where white versus black, right? Now they don't blame the blacks anymore. You don't see that? They don't blame anything on the blacks or the Arabs. They blame now. They're going after the Indians, folks. It's the same thing over and over and over again. It's every decade is a different race, right, against the whites or North American way. So, it's just the same crap over and over again, but it's just a different disguise, right? A different voice, different face. So yeah, be wary, folks. When they start ramping up the blaming of other people, other factors, that's when you know a collapse is coming. And it's all planned too, folks. Every time they do a collapse, it's a planned event where the billionaires steal from the middle class and the poor class. It's always been that way.